If this is your first time on this channel, a warm welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back to the Practical Money with Theo, where we turn complex money into simple systems. If you want to take control of your money and feel more confident about it, you are in the right place. Before I continue, the ideas in this episode reflect my views and experiences. I'm not your financial advisor, and this is not personal finance advice. Remember, always be a student, not a follower. In the last episode, we talked about the uncertainty of the future. We concluded that we are not powerless. There are things we can do. I have received a comment from one of the viewers called Mick. It reads, "Hello Theo, thank you for this week's episode. I have found it again very interesting this week. I'll be 75-year-old this month. Living alone as a widower, I do worry about the future even at my age. The 4 things to do have given me a mission for this week. Cheers." Now, back to the episode. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see Cristiano Ronaldo wearing the Portugal colours again. Every World Cup, millions of people gather around televisions, phones, and pub screens. Some are supporting England, some Portugal, some Scotland, some Brazil, whatever team you support. And some are just hoping their team survives the group stage. But every World Cup reminds me of a question. Why does Ronaldo earn so much? Is he working harder than a nurse? Harder than a builder? Harder than a teacher? Harder than a taxi driver? Harder than a pharmacist? Maybe. Maybe not. So why is he paid so much? Today, I want to explore a much deeper question. What creates value? Because once we understand value, we start to understand money. Imagine you are stranded in the Sahara Desert. I offer you a gold bar. Someone else offers you a bottle of water. Which one would you choose? Most people choose the water. Interesting. A few minutes ago, the gold seemed more valuable. Now, the water is more valuable. Why? Because value depends on the problem being solved. In simple terms, value is the benefit someone receives from what you do. A builder creates a shelter. Teachers create knowledge. A nurse improves health. A taxi driver solves a transport problem. A pharmacist helps people get the best from their medicines. A footballer creates entertainment. Different forms of value. One idea I came across while reading Rabbi Daniel Lapin's Business Secrets from the Bible, the book behind me, is that money often follows service. The more people you help and the bigger the problem you solve, the more valuable you may become. The question isn't whether value exists. The question is, how much value is created, for how many people, and how difficult is it to replace? Let's go back to Ronaldo. As a pharmacist, I might help dozens of people each day, hundreds in a week, thousands in a year. Ronaldo can entertain millions of people with a single match. Not necessarily more important, but certainly bigger in scale. So, scale matters. There are many pharmacists, many teachers, many builders, many nurses. There are very few Cristiano Ronaldos. If Ronaldo retired tomorrow, how many people on earth could truly replace him at the same level? Probably a handful. So, scarcity matters. Ronaldo isn't paid millions because someone in a boardroom decided he should be. He's paid millions because millions of people around the world keep choosing to watch him. They buy tickets, they buy shirts, they subscribe to sports channels, they fill stadiums. So money follows attention. I can only help one patient at a time. Ronaldo's performance can be televised, streamed, clipped, replayed and watched by millions simultaneously. One action, millions reached. So reach matters. Now, this is where many people become uncomfortable. Because we've often been told, work harder, work harder, work harder. Hard work matters, absolutely. But the market doesn't always reward effort. It often rewards value. The market doesn't always pay you for how hard it was. It often pays you for how valuable it is. I came across another interesting idea while reading the same Rabbi Daniel Lapin's book. He argues that successful people often think like owners long before they became owners. Not owners of shares, owners of responsibility. Imagine two pharmacists. One asks, "What time do I finish?" The other asks, "How can we improve this pharmacy?" Same qualification, different mindset. Thinking like an owner doesn't mean working longer hours. It means taking responsibility for creating value. In many ways, Ronaldo behaves like the owner of Cristiano Ronaldo Limited. Every training session, every interview, every sponsorship, every match, he's constantly increasing the value of that brand. This episode actually started with a conversation I had at work. I found myself asking, how can we give customers a better experience than the competition around us? That's a value question, not an effort question. Peter Drucker, often called the father of modern management, argued that the purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer. Businesses that create more value tend to attract more customers. The same principle often applies to careers. Most of us will never become Cristiano Ronaldo. I certainly won't. At my age, if I run onto a football pitch, I'd probably need a pharmacist before the final whistle. But we can all increase our value by improving our skills, our knowledge, our reliability, our communication, our leadership, and our problem solving. Rohn once said, "Your income is usually a reflection of the value you bring to the marketplace." Whether you agree completely or not, I think it is worth thinking about. Because instead of asking, "How can I earn more?" perhaps we should first ask, "How can I become more valuable?" The future is changing quickly. AI, automation, technology. The future may not ask, "How busy were you?" The future may ask, "What value did you create?" Trust, leadership, empathy, judgment, relationships, these are difficult to automate. And that's where many opportunities will remain. As a pharmacist, I know one thing. If Ronaldo pulls a hamstring, he might need a pharmacist. If I pull a hamstring, I still need Ronaldo on my fantasy football team. Different kinds of value. The lesson isn't that Ronaldo is better. The lesson is understanding how value is created and rewarded. Because when you understand value, you begin to understand money. And when you understand money, you can start building a better future. This week's challenge. Write down 3 ways you create value for other people. Then ask yourself, how could I increase that value by 10% over the next year? The goal is not to become Ronaldo. The goal is to understand the game. If you found this video helpful, please share it. Consider subscribing and joining us each week. Money matters, but life matters more. Fix your system, fix your money. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.